bless everyone. I'm Mamintal Norolain and I will be discussing the section 17 to 21 of Article 9, Children of Indigenous Cultural Communities, and section 22 to 25 of Article 10, Children in Situation of Armed Conflict. Section 17, Survival, Protection, and the Development. In addition to the right guaranteed to children under this Act and other existing laws, children of indigenous cultural communities shall be entitled to protect survival and development consistent with the costume and tradition of their respected communities. Ibig sabihin ng Section 17 ay merong in addition may karapatan i-quarantine ang mga bata sa ilalim ng batas na ito at iba pang umiiral na batas. Ang mga bata ng katutubong mamamayang kultural ay may karapatan sa proteksyon, kaligtasan at pag-unlad sa mga kaugalian at tradisyonal ng kani-kanilang komunidad. Section 18, System of and Access to Education. The Department of Education, Culture, and Sport shall develop and institute an alternative system of education for children of indigenous cultural communities, which culture is specific and relevant to the needs of and the existing situation in their communities. The Department of Education, Culture, and Sport shall also accredit and support organizations in said communities. Ibig sabihin ng Section 18, ang kagawaran ng edukasyon, kultural at kultura at sport ay dapat bumuo ng edukasyon ng alternative system ng edukasyon para sa mga bata na katutubong mamamayang kultural at sa particular sa mga kultura at nauugnay sa mga pangangailangan ng mga kasalukuyang sitwasyon sa kanilang mga komunidad. Dapat din magbigay ng suporta ng di-formal ngunit functional na katutubong programang pang-edukasyon na sinasagawa ng di-gobyerno organisasyon na nasasabing komunidad. Section 19, Health and Nutrition. The delivery of basic social services in health and nutrition to children of indigenous cultural communities shall be given priority by all government agencies concerned. Hospital and other health institutions shall ensure that children of indigenous cultural communities are given equal attention, and the provision of health and nutrition services to children of indigenous cultural communities. Indigenous health practices shall be respected and recognized. Sinasabi dito na dapat yung pag-deliver ng social services health sa mga indigenous people or indigenous community or sa indigenous children ay dapat fair, walang bias, at sinasabi din dito na dapat sila rin yung pinapaboran ng mga government agency dahil sila yung malalayong lugar katulad sa tumitira sa bundok, yun sila yung katutubong indigenous people, which is dapat yung turing sa kanila ay equal. Walang dapat mataas or walang dapat lalamang, hindi porket dahil indigenous people sila ay wala na silang karapatan. So dapat mas bigyan natin sila ng pansin at dapat nare-recognize sila or nakikilala sila at nire-respeto kahit na indigenous people sila. Section 20, Discrimination. Children of indigenous cultural communities shall not be subjected to any and all forms of discrimination. Any person who discriminates against children of indigenous cultural communities shall suffer a penalty of arrest to mayor in its maximum period and a fine not less than 5,000 pesos or 10,000 pesos. So, dapat hindi sila subject sa lahat ng forms of discrimination. So, ano ang mga forms ng discrimination? Ang mga forms ng discrimination ay yung mga panlalait, nawawalan sila ng karapatan at tinatapak-tapakan sila. Wala na silang rights sa community, yun yung mga form ng discrimination kasi dapat hindi sila makakaramdam ng ganong discrimination kasi dapat tayo ay may mga rights. Dapat equal lang, like may rights ako, may rights sila, may rights kayo. Dapat pantay-pantay tayo at dapat i-avoid natin yung discrimination sa mga indigenous people or sa children of indigenous communities. Kasi may mga parusa ding nakapatong sa mga discrimination. Any person who discriminate against children of indigenous ay magsasuffer ng maximum period ng less than 5,000 to more than 10,000. Section 21, Participation. Indigenous cultural communities through the jury designated or appointed representatives shall be involved in planning, decision-making, implementation, and evaluation of all government programs affecting children of indigenous cultural communities. Indigenous institutions shall also be recognized and respected. So sa isang community ng indigenous cultural communities ay merong dapat doon isa na appointed people or selected people na kung saan involved siya sa planning, decision making, and implementation and evaluation of government program. So dapat meron daw representative people o tao na kung saan magbibigay ng kanilang planning o involved siya doon sa pagpa-planning, pagbibuild ng decision para daw yung children indigenous community ay di maapektuhan at dapat daw irespeto at ma-recognize o kilalanin yung mga indigenous cultural communities. Section 22, Children as zone of peace. Children are hereby declared as zone of peace. It shall be the responsibility of the state and all other sectors concerned to resolve armed conflict in order to promote the goal of children as zone of peace. To attain this object, the following policy shall be observed. So, meron ditong mga policies na kailangan dapat i-observe. Letter A, children shall not be the object of attack and shall be entitled to specific respect. They shall be protected from any form of threat, assault, torture, of other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment. So, dapat daw is hindi maging object o subject yung mga children of cultural indigenous people na sila ay magiging subject to threat, to assault, to torture, to discriminate. So, dapat sila maging object, dapat patas lang o fair na tinatawag na balance. Letter B, children shall not be recruited to become member of the armed forces of the Philippines, of its civilian unit or other armed group, nor be allowed to take part in the fighting or used as guides, carrier, or space. So, gagamitin na sa guide o sa letter B, hindi dapat i-recruit yung mga indigenous people na maging isang membro agad-agad ng armed forces of the Philippines at iba pang grupo para lamang gamitin sa pakikipagdigma o guide or gawing isang spy. Letter C, delivery of the basic social services such as education, primary health, and emergency relief services shall be kept unhampered. So, dapat daw bigyan sila ng edukasyon yung kanilang kalusugan ay siguraduhin na maganda ang kanilang kalusugan. Letter D, the safety and protection of those who provide services including those involved in fact-finding mission from both government and non-government institutions shall be ensured they shall not be subjected to undue harassment in the performance of their work. Dapat daw hindi sila maging subject ng mga harassment na bagay o yung mga indigenous people dapat wag natin silang i-torture, i-judge, i-discriminate o respeto natin sila at kilalanin natin sila bilang tao. Letter F, public infrastructure such as school, hospital, and rural health units shall not be utilized for military purposes such as command post, barracks, detachment, and supply depots. And so, yung mga public infrastructure, dapat daw katulad ng halimbawa school, hospital, rural health, ay hindi sila utilized for the purposes of military. So, bawal yun sa such as command post, barrack, detachment, and supply depots. Letter F, all appropriate steps shall be taken to facilitate the reunion of families temporarily separated due to armed conflict. So, kapag merong armed conflict, so, isi-separate muna with temporary separated yung mga indigenous people sa kanilang mga pamilya. Section 23, Evacuation of Children During Armed Conflict. Children shall be given priority during evacuation as a result of armed conflict. Existing community organizations shall be tapped to look after the safety and well-being of children during evacuation operations. Measures shall be taken to ensure that children evacuated are accompanied by persons responsible for their safety and well-being. Ayon dito sa Section 23, dapat ang mga kabataan ay bigyan ng maagarang aksyon in times of armed conflict. At mayroong organisasyon na kung saan itatap para sa kaligtasan at kapakanan ng mga kabataan at dapat matiyak ng maayos kung ang kasama ng bata sa paglikas ay responsible para sa kanilang kaligtasan. Section 24, Family Life and Temporary Shelter. Whenever possible, member of the same family shall be housed in the same premises and given separate accommodation from other evacuees and provided with facilities to lead a normal family life. In place of temporary shelter, expectant and nursing mother and children shall be given additional food in proportion to their physiological needs. Whenever feasible, children shall be given opportunities for physical exercise, sport, and outdoor games. Ayon dito sa Section 24, ang bawat membro ng isang pamilya ay dapat tumira sa isang lugar o sa parehong lugar, ngunit hiwalay ang bahay ng kanilang tinitirahan upang mamuhay sila ng normal at sila din ay bibigyan ng naaayon sa kanilang pangangailangan sa pang-araw-araw at bigyan din ng kalayaan or opportunities ang mga kabataan sa sport, exercise at sa mga outdoor games upang maramdaman ng mga kabataan na normal pa rin ang kanilang pamumuhay. Section 25, Rights of Children Arrested for Reason Related to Armed Conflict. Any child who has been arrested for reason related to armed conflict, either as combatant, courier, guide, or espia, is entitled to the following rights. Ayon sa section na ito, sino mang bata ang maaaresto para sa kadahilan ng pag-uugnay sa hidwaan, digmaan, alinmang sabihin ng mandirigma, courier, guide, or espia ay may karapatan sa sumusunod na ito. Letter A. Separate detention from adult except where families are accommodated as family unit o hiwalay sa pagbigay sa sapat ng pamilya maliban sa kung saan pamilya tinatanggap bilang isang unit ng pamilya. Letter B. Immediate free legal assistance o agarang libreng legal na tiling. Letter C. Immediate notice of such arrest to the parents of or guardian of the child o kaagad paunawa sa naturang pag-aaresto sa mga magulang o sa pag-aalaga ng bata. Letter D. Release of the child on recognizance within 24 hours to the custody of the Department of Social Welfare and Development or any responsible member of the community as determined by the court. O pakawalan ang bata sa pagkilala sa loob ng 24 na oras sa pangangalaga ng DSWD o sino mang responsibleng membro ng pamayanan o tinutukoy ng korte.